And now for our next federal member, the member for Banks, ladies and gentlemen, Darryl Millam.
Thanks very much. At the outset, can I thank Bankstown Sports Club for hosting this evening's gathering on behalf of 80 clubs. Initially, there was actually going to be a gathering at Hurstville at the Marana Auditorium tonight with myself and Robert McClelland, and there was one that was going to be here with Tony Burke and Jason Clare, and I took the view that we should have one large gathering and have everyone here, and I think it's worked out pretty well in terms of sending a message as far as the number of people who've participated and come, and it's also been civil and courteous, as it should be. Look, I'm in a position that's very different to the other 225 members of the House of Representatives and the Senate, because I happen to have two jobs. My paid job, which is my day job, my night job, and my weekend job, is as the federal member for Banks. My unpaid job, which is my voluntary job, which is day, night and weekends, is President of Revesby Workers Club. Now, what having those two jobs means is that there is a potential for a conflict of interest or a perceived conflict of interest, and as one who's acted ethically all his adult life, I understand as a lawyer, before I went into Parliament, the need to act ethically and to avoid a potential conflict of interest. And I took senior counsel's advice, and I also took the advice of the clerk of the House of Representatives. And as a result of that advice, I advised both the caucus, because I'm the chair of the caucus, the board of the Revesby Workers Club, because I'm the president of the Revesby Workers Club, and the CEO of Clubs New South Wales, face-to-face, Anthony Ball, what my position would be. And my position is very simply that because of that perception of conflict of interest, that I would not be involving myself in the debate, I would not be arguing behind closed doors, I'll be basically benched and on the sidelines, and that I would support whatever decision the Parliamentary Labor Party took. In my view, that's fine, and I understand there are many in the community that would want me to do opposite, and if I did opposite, the legal advice I have is that conflict of interest, which would be potential corruption, because my actions would be about benefiting a particular club in which I serve, is exactly what it would be. Now, I'm not saying it would be, it has the potential. So in relation to that, it's okay. The situation is very clear. The offer by Craig is rejected. I have no intention of crossing the floor on this. No intention. And it's a matter for the electorate how they consider that at the next election, and I respect their opinion because I actually believe in democracy. In relation to my presidency of the Revesby Workers Club, that's a matter for the members of the Revesby Workers Club and the board of the Revesby Workers Club. But I also want to say this as well, because that's what I've done in relation as a Member of Parliament, and in relation as the President of the Revesby Workers Club. You should all know that tonight the Revesby Workers Club co-sponsored tonight. There was an ad in the Telegraph on page 14, sponsored by the Revesby Workers Club amongst other clubs. The CEO of the Revesby Workers Club is in the leader this week as well as last week, and was in the Torch the week before, because he's been delegated the responsibility to speak on behalf of the club. The only intervention in relation to this matter, because of the potential for conflict of interest, and there are other things the Revesby Workers Club has done. There's only one area where there was an argument, and we as a club did not support a levy in relation to this matter, because we've never supported a levy in our 50 years existence. It's actually against our constitution, and indeed the constitution of the Revesby Workers Club permits me to do exactly what I'm doing as a Member of Parliament. Well, let me read it to you. You go, oh. The objects are to promote and assist the promotion of workers' interests and organisations, including but not limited to trade unionism and the Australian Labor Party. Now, can I just say this to you? I've been, as I said, 37 years involved in the club movement. I was there when random breath testing was there, when it was going to be the end of the club industry. I was there when pubs were given poker machines and it was going to be the end of the club industry. I was there when taxes were raised in relation to poker machines and it was going to be the end of the club industry. Now, in relation to that, I know in terms of my club, 7 years ago we took a decision to diversify, and I accept that not many other clubs can do what we've done. But in relation to this, what needs to be accepted is the debate is about how you overcome problem gambling. And it doesn't just involve clubs, it involves pubs, and it also involves casinos. And you are entitled to disagree with the actions that the government is taking. And that's democracy. That's democracy. But the position is, in 37 years in the club industry, and before that I did 12 months in a pub learning to pour beer, there is a problem with problem gambling. Now, I was quite happy to come along tonight because in an open public gathering, my words stand as they do. I can't be verbal, there's a television camera, I'm being upfront with you, I'm being honest with you, I'm not here to win your votes. Indeed, you can disrespect what I'm saying to you. But all I say to you is, it's easy to engage in the session of politics. I've had enough. Thank you.